to write to your favorite programs and let them know they are a blessing to you. Your letters are a very important source of encouragement. If you do not get the address at the end of the program, then write to them in care of World Harvest Radio, and we will forward your letter to them. Our address is P.O. Box 12, South Bend, Indiana, 46624, USA. That's World Harvest Radio, P.O. Box 12, South Bend, Indiana, 46624, USA. Or, in the Middle East, write to World Harvest Radio in care of METV, P.O. Box 27266, Limassol, Cyprus. Thanks again for listening to World Harvest Radio.
Hello and welcome to Voice of Vietnam. I'm Cẩm Thi. In today's program, After the News, we'll tell you about how soldiers and people on Tân Island in Quảng Ninh province to develop the place. Then we'll review major events in Vietnam during the week. Finally, in the weekend music session, we'll play some songs by musician Phan Huỳnh Điểu. First, here's the news. In the news headlines, the Advisory Council for Administrative Procedure Reform convenes a plenary session. The Lim Festival opens in Quảng Ninh province, attracting thousands of visitors. And UK's Cameron wins deal for special status in the EU. Now the news in detail. The Prime Minister's Advisory Council for Administrative Procedure Reform gathered on Friday to review its operation in 2015 and set forth tasks for 2016. Last year, the Council focused on studying and proposing initiatives on renewing administrative regulations related to production, business, and people's lives, as well as assessing the implementation of administrative reforms at ministry sectors and localities. For 2016 tasks, the head of the Council, Minister of Justice Ha Hung Kung, stressed the need to continue assessing the implementation of reforms at ministries and localities, especially the government's resolution on key tasks and measures to improve business environment and increase national competitiveness. He asked Council members to coordinate with relevant ministries and sectors in implementing a master plan on simplifying administrative procedures, citizens' papers and data related to resident management during 2013-2020. On Friday, Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam asked ministries, sectors and localities to take proactive measures to deal with possible epidemics caused by Zika virus. The Deputy Prime Minister asked the Ministry of Health to work with localities to increase disease prevention and control through strengthened surveillance, monitoring and reporting mechanisms. Dam suggested including Zika virus-related diseases to the list of infectious diseases. So far, Zika virus has spread to 44 countries and territories. Most of them are in Latin America. There have been no cases of Zika virus infection in Vietnam. Low-cost carrier Vietjet Air has signed contracts worth over $3 million at Asia's largest aerospace exhibition, the Singapore Air Show 2016. Pratt & Whitney, a company under the U.S. United Technologies Corporation, will supply the newest line of pure power-geared turbofan engines for powering Vietjet Air's A320neo and A321neo aircraft. The carrier also signed a deal worth $60 million with SR Technics Group from Switzerland for component and maintenance services for its A320 and A321 fleet. The contract marks a milestone in the relationship between the two companies, expanding on the success of the long-term CFM 5G and gene services partnership signed in early 2015. At the air show, Airbus signed an agreement to provide flight and maintenance training services for A320s to Vietjet in Ho Chi Minh City. Vietjet currently operates 34 A320 and A321 aircraft and conducts nearly 200 flights a day on 47 domestic and international routes, including flights to Singapore, the Republic of Korea, China, Thailand, and Myanmar. The annual Lim Festival, which opens on the 12th and the 13th day of the first lunar month in Bắc Ninh province, has attracted thousands of visitors and singers of Quan Họ folk singing. Festival goers joined with the local people to offer incense at Hong An pagoda and temples of the local genies. The most typical activity at the Lim Festival is singing Quan Họ folk songs, besides playing folk games. Tourist Nguyễn Văn Bằng is from Hanoi.
Hội Lim là truyền thống từ ngàn đời rồi mà hàng năm mọi người vẫn cứ.
The Lim Festival has existed for hundreds of years. Visitors are joyful to attend the festival, go to the pagodas, and enjoy Quan Họ singing. I love Quan Họ since I was young. It has been the third year I go to the festival. Hà Tĩnh Province and Vinh University have organized a workshop about poet Xuân Diệu and his literary legacy on Saturday. Born in Can Lộc District, Hà Tĩnh Province, Xuân Diệu works include poems, literary reviews, research, news articles, and translation. But he was best known for his love poem and was dubbed as the king of love poems from 1930 to 1945. Writers and cultural researchers at the workshop listened to 43 presentations about Xuân Diệu career and literary works. The International Tourism Fair 2016 will take place on April the 14th to 17th at the Vietnam Exhibition Center in Hanoi. The organizing board said that the fair will highlight Vietnam Sea and Island tourism attractions. Tourist company aim to attract foreign and Vietnamese tourists to sea and island tourist destinations. At this event, there will be workshops on how to improve services to fully tap tourist potential. The Huế Monuments Preservation Center received 2 medical gadgets sponsored by the Republic of Korea for emergency cases involving tourists with heart failure on February the 19th. The handheld automatic pump is used to support heart function and blood flow of people with weakened hearts. Each machine costs $2,500. The Republic of Korea's National Research Foundation and Jeju Halla University, in collaboration with the Huế University of Medicine and Pharmacy, will provide training for the center staff on operating the new machines and first aid. The center will be given similar equipment based on further research from the Republic of Korea. The government of the Netherlands will support Vietnam's strategy on sustainable socio-economic development in the Mekong Delta region, which is facing the critical impact of climate change, said speakers at a conference held by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment and the Dutch Embassy in Vietnam. At the conference, Tom Kobier from the Netherlands Embassy urged relevant agencies to set up a master plan suitable for each locality adapting to climate change. According to experts from the Netherlands, the master plan will have heads of ministries, agencies, and localities with a comprehensive view on long-term solutions such as infrastructure investment, natural resources protection and management, and budget allocation. And now the world news. David Cameron says a deal struck with EU leaders will give the UK special status, and he will campaign with his heart and soul to stay in the Union. The Prime Minister said the agreement reached late on Friday after 2 days of talks in Brussels will include a 7-year emergency break on welfare payments. He added the deal included changes to the EU treaties and will be presented to his cabinet on Saturday at 10 GMT. EU as its campaigners said the whole deal offered only few minor changes. The unanimous agreement reached at the Minister Summit was first announced by the European Council President Donald Tusk. Turkey-based Kurdish militant group has said it carried out Wednesday's bomb attack in Ankara that killed 28 people. The Kurdistan Freedom Hawks group said on its website that the attack was retaliation against the policies of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Earlier, Mr. Erdogan said he had no doubt that US-backed Syrian Kurdish groups carry out the bombing. The TAK was once linked with the Ashraq Kurdistan Workers' Party. Both the TAK and the PKK are classified as terrorist groups by Turkey and the US. In a statement, the TAK said a 27-year-old Turkish national, Abdulbaki Sönmez, had carried out Wednesday's rush-hour car bombing on a Kurdish military convoy in the capitals. The group made reference to military operations against Kurdish rebels in southeast Turkey and threatened more attacks. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe approved on Friday new sanctions against North Korea in response to its rocket launch and forced nuclear test. The steps included the ban on entry of all North Korean registered ships into Japan and a third country ships from entering Japan after visiting ports in North Korea. On Saturday, North Korea fired several artillery rounds into the sea near a disputed maritime border with South Korea. The firing took place a few days after Seoul announced that early next month, South Korea and the US will begin an annual military maneuver on a large scale. The Pentagon has said US warplanes have carried out airstrikes targeting fighters allied with IS in Libya, killing dozens of people, possibly including a senior leader of the armed group. Peter Cook, Pentagon spokesman, said in a press conference that the operation was carried out in Libya to prevent IS from carrying out external attacks against US and Western interests. Cook said the attack was in Sabratha near the border with Tunisia, aimed at killing Noureddin Kochan, also known as Sabir, a Tunisian accused of helping to organize two attacks on tourists last year. The operation also hit an IS training camp.
And now to the news headlines once again. The Advisory Council for Administrative Procedure Reform convenes a plenary session. The Lim Festival opens in Bắc Province, attracting thousands of visitors. And UK's Cameron wins deal for special status in EU. That has been news.
You are listening to VOV, and here comes a satellite report covering